Okay, let's get to our worksheets. So it's May. We're going to do our May bills. And these are for monthly contractual obligations. Okay? We're going to start off if you're supposed to pay yourself. If maybe on the first of the month you pay yourself $20 into your savings account, we go ahead and record that we're going to do that. If you're ahead of most people. If you're like most people, the mortgage is going to come due on the first, or your rent, and that's what we want to put in there. Let's say we're going to have $1,000 for a mortgage or rent payment. We're going to record that here. And then as we pay that, we can either mark the date that we paid it, or we can simply just check it off. The bottom line with this sheet is we want to account for every dollar that we're spending through the course of the month. And this makes a pretty simple way to keep everything logged on a sheet. If you had a second mortgage, maybe that's due on the 15th. You throw it on the 15th for the $500. That's what the mortgage amount is. If you had a home equity line of credit, you do the same thing. Insurance is going to be, and there's going to be some things that are going to be a little bit funny like this. If you're paying your insurance, obviously every month it's not a big deal. But maybe you're paying your insurance once a year. So maybe you're paying $1,200 for insurance once a year. We still have to break that down to a monthly. In common sense, working with your economy, your budgets, and that simply means economy simply means the amount of money that's coming in, the amount of money that's going out of your personal situation. Everything needs to be broken down in a monthly cash flow. So while we may be paying $1,200 a year for insurance, we want to divide the $1,200 by 12 months, right, to find out what our monthly payment is going out toward insurance is, and we want to make sure that we're marking this on this sheet. Okay, that's really important. I hope you understand that. I hope that makes sense. So HOA fees are usually done annually, or any kind of annual fees. Land and school tax might be broken down the same way. So you're kind of getting the understanding of how we want to record those amounts of money so that we're tracking every dollar. So say your electric bill is going to be due on the 20th. We would do the same thing. Maybe it's going to be $150 for the electric bill. But then maybe you get the bill in, okay, and the bill wasn't $150. The bill comes in to be $110. You'll write that down here because now you know exactly how much the electric bill is going to be. And then, of course, once you've taken care of it, you can check it off or mark the date you've paid it. And that'll go on the same as with the phone, the TV, the internet, water, sewer, okay, vehicle registrations. Getting into credit cards, you know, maybe you have a MasterCard that's due on the 10th, and you're going to pay $100 to that. And then maybe on the 15th, you're going to have a Visa due, right, for $100 to there. And maybe you got an American Express that's going to be due on the 25th. You know, maybe that's $300. So I hope you're getting to kind of understand how this particular form is going to work. And then what's going to happen is, and what we're after, is we want this total amount. So at the end of the month when we're done filling this form in, we're going to come all the way down to the bottom, right? And we're going to see total monthly contractual expenses. And we're going to total this whole column up there. And let's say it was $2,200 that we had for a total on there. Now those that kind of were checking out the forms noticed it on the second page. There seems to be the exact same total monthly contractual expenses as we had here. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to take that $2,200, $2,200, and we're going to record it on the second page in this position. Now, it was interesting. I was having a conversation with my father about how the software that we use, my wife and I, keeps everything in check for us as far as for what bills are coming up, how much we have to pay, how much is coming in. Which brought me to ask him the question about how he's done it. He's 94 years old. How has he kept track of his money and been so on top of everything all the time? And he actually shared with me, I'll show my age, the ledger sheets that he uses. They were the green old accounting ledger sheets because he was an accountant, and he got into his habits of, and exactly, he was nice enough to let me take pictures with my cell phone of the sheets he was using. This is actually from Dad, to give me a way to bring to you. without getting onto the software programs and learning with a piece of paper, pencil, and a calculator how we can figure out exactly where we are every month with what we're spending for money. So we're in May now. And this is going to be a little bit different because, like groceries, we don't have a $274.12 bill on that. We just pretty much have an amount that we spend every month. And that's why right now, budget, the word gives me the willies, because I'm not a good budgeter as far as for staying within a certain budget. But these forms we're using right now is we just want to know what we're spending, right, to the dollar, how much we're spending. So we can use a best guesstimate when we're doing something like this and say $400 a month we spend in groceries, and say after the first time we go grocery shopping we spend $100, okay, we could fill this in. So the monthly amount would be equal to what we have spent already and what we have left, which would be $300. And there's kind of a, I don't want to say the word budget, but there's kind of what we have left for the amount of what we discussed. And if we were to go shopping again and say we were to spend another $50, we would just add the $50 onto the 100. So we're at $150 that we've spent. And, well, you probably guessed it, we're going to take the $300 down to $250. Hope that makes sense, because the budget, as with most of the things on here, that's kind of how we're going to run with the budget amounts and how we're going to track those kind of dollar figures. So, whether it's eating out, assigning the numbers there, clothing, hobbies, repair, maintenances, gas is another one we kind of really want to track for. Maybe it's a couple $100 a month, and we spend $50 to fill up our car one week. We want to make sure that we're allocating what we have left in the budget for gasoline. And hotels, transportations, hair, prescriptions, doctor. I tried to leave enough room in for you to be able to fill in your own things, and hopefully I hit enough of a lot of what you're going to spend. Now, because we've been tracking what we spent, what's really important here is that we're going to take what we spent down this column, right? We're going to total everything up all on down here, and we're going to have a total to assign for here. So let's just say that the total amount we spent here is $2,100. And I know you've been following along and learning. You also saw that there's another space here that's called total monthly living expenses, total monthly living expenses spent, and we're going to take the $2,100 from above, and we're going to record the $2,100 here. And now income. So Norm gets paid, let's say $500 a week. Once again, we're looking to do monthlies, right? So if we're doing $500 a week, we want to multiply that by the 4 weeks, okay? So his monthly income is going to be $2,000. Clara, on the other hand, is going to make $1,200 every 2 weeks. So we want to try to do that same type of math, where the $1,200 divided by the 2 weeks is actually $600 a week, right? The $600 times the 4 weeks is going to be $2,400 that she makes per month. And then once again, we're going to simply just total the $2,000 and add it to the $2,400, and we're going to show a $4,400 total income. And, yep, I know you're catching right on. We're going to take the $4,400 income, and we're going to put it down in the total income column. And this is where it gets fun. How much did we make? Or how much did we go in the hole? So now we're simply just doing the math. The $4,400 less the $2,200 less the $2,100. We know that we had $100 left over. Money left over means we had some extra money. We gratefully didn't go in the hole this month. And I hope this makes sense to you. And I hope the sheets work as well for you as they have for my dad.